say what needs to be said. Well, we say what needs to be said so you can say what needs to be said. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight, man? Or this morning, should I say? Late nights, early morning, that's how we vibe, baby. The Battle of the Birds. Week 2 is a wrap. How we doing tonight? Let's get into this thing, man. That was a great game tonight. Great game tonight. Man, y'all heard the news. They finally got Diddy. Low down diggity dog. Boy, Diddy. This man been causing havoc around the world, man. And finally bringing that junk to an end, man. I'm for the women, man. I'm a ladies' man, man. I got 5 daughters raised by a single mama. So, man, I'm here for the women. If you out here, you want to take advantage of women and things like that, man, I'm not down for that, man. I am a ladies' man. I am a girl's dad, man. Week 2. What's going on, man? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Y'all talk to me. Let me put my chat in on the screen. We're gonna see the chat on the screen today, so we gotta get this thing going, keep this thing vibing, man. Week 2, the Eagles versus the Falcons, the Battle of the Birds. Some unexpected news after the game. Unexpected victory. But it doesn't matter to me because both these are my teams, the Battle of the Birds. I played for the Falcons and I played for the Philadelphia Eagles, baby, so I can't lose, you know what I mean? Number 22, I belong in the Hall of Fame. You better believe that. Shout out to Isaiah Watt one time. You feel me? Yeah, that showed up. Did that show up on the chat? I need to show up on the chat. But yeah, man, one time for Isaiah Watt in the building, man. The Eagles versus the Falcons. Let's get into this thing. What happened, man? What happened? How did it go so bad? It was going so good. I mean, the Eagles controlled the ball for most of the game. I think the difference in the time of the ball, the control of possession was like 35 to 24. The Eagles controlled the ball for 35 minutes of the game, and then the Falcons controlled it for 24 minutes or something like that, man. But what a physical game tonight, man. I was really impressed by the way the Falcons played tonight. I can't lie. They played very well, and they played up to their standards of what their roster allows them to be. You know what I mean? How good they allow them to be, and that's physical. The one thing you can do in NFL and in football is be physical. No matter how athletic your team is, how fast, how good your skill position players are, you can line up and be physical. You could go play mano-a-mano and whoop the man in front of you. You know what I mean? And the Eagles play very good ball all the way up into the last 2 minutes of the game. And that's usually how the Eagles play through the whole game, not all the way up to the end. They usually finish out and figure out a way to win. And that didn't happen tonight. The Eagles didn't find a way to win. The Falcons found a way to win. And that was unfortunate for the Eagles because usually they close games out after playing so well, right? But for me, right, what was the issue of this game? How did the Eagles end up tanking towards the end? And I put this on the defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio. I think this is defensive coordinator fault. Towards the end of the game, everything was perfect from the defensive coordinator, the calls, to the defense, to the offense, and to the last 2 minutes. And I think the last 2 minutes of the game, defensive coordinator, his calls was too soft, right? He called in too soft of a coverage against a non-mobile quarterback. And I think that's when a non-mobile quarterback, you got to keep that pressure on and keep applying that pressure. You never want a non-mobile quarterback to get comfortable. And that's what he allowed Kirk Cousins to do. We allowed Kirk Cousins to get comfortable in the last 2 minutes. And he is a guy that can escape pressure. He doesn't deal with pressure well in his face at all, but we allow him to do that. And once you allow Kirk Cousins, a veteran, savvy quarterback, to get comfortable in the pocket like he did exactly what happened tonight. The same thing he did when he was at the Vikings and so on and so forth. And the Washington Redskins. He gutted the Eagles, man. He gutted the Eagles defense. Big play after big play. It was like 3-4 plays and they're in the red zone, about to score. And yeah, if you put the pressure on, you keep the pressure on, keep Kirk Cousins uncomfortable in the pocket and blitz and blitz and blitz, and then back off, I think you have the same results. Because that's what pretty much happened the whole night. They depended on the run game. They wasn't dependent on Kirk Cousins. They're not dependent on Kirk Cousins until they have to depend on Kirk Cousins. And That's what it came down to. We have to depend on you now. So let's see what you got for us. Let's see if you can deliver. Let's see if this recovering Achilles can hold up what we pay you all this money for, right? And he did just that. And the officer game plan, the formula for success is very simple. That's how you win football games. The officer game plan on both sides of the ball was high run, calling high run plays, right? And give the ball to our best player. And for the Falcons, that's Bijan Robinson. That was the game plan. Feed Bijan Robinson the ball, and we can build off that. Build the offense around Bijan Robinson, and this offense will continue to thrive and get better. He is the best player. He's explosive, man. He's a very dynamic player, man. I love watching that young man play, man. He's explosive, fast, got the agilities. He's tough. He's strong, and yeah, he's gonna be hard to stop. But I don't know how far Kirk Cousins can take him. But Kirk Cousins. Let me tell you one thing about it. You get comfortable. He starts to get more comfortable, more where he's not what do you call it? Nursing. He's not nursing the Achilles, and he's totally comfortable where he want to go out there and just execute, not worried about anything. So we're gonna look out for the Falcons in the future, man, and see where this see how good they do, because they did good. And defense, man, they play really good defense, and we know head coach Raheem Morris is a defensive guy, and he got those guys swarming around and things like that. So that's good. But on the defense for the Eagles, man, like I say, the last 2 minutes of the game, and and unfortunately, my boy Big Play Slay is going to get a lot of slack for the last play of the game, and the last one play doesn't determine the game. And on that play, he just got caught up with his eyes, right? Being lazy with his eyes and not having the proper leverage when using your eyes. He was head up with the guy and eyes on the quarterback, giving the guy a two-way go. And he should have took one side, which is outside leverage, would look like he was playing, and have his eyes on the quarterback, and he could see the receiver at the same time. So that was one mistake that I seen from the defense and Big Play Slay. And I know he wish he could have that play back, because, Big Play Slay is a dog. And also, Quinyon Mitchell, the rookie out there at cornerback, I've seen a few plays. If you don't notice, like we said, Kirk Cousins had like 2 or 3 plays under 2 minutes and got in the red zone. One of those plays was on Quinyon Mitchell in cover 2. Cover 2, you got a high-low route, and in cover 2, the cornerback should protect up to about 20 yards. So when you have a high-low route, you got the one guy going to flats and the other guy doing a deep out route, let's say, or corner route. And the corner is supposed to stay back here to protect, but Quinyon Mitchell, he bit up on a short out route, and Kirk Cousins hit it right over the top of his head for another big game. And then he had like an out route where he looked like he wasn't, didn't have the proper leverage and stuff like that. But it's a rookie, it's a rookie being put in these big time moments. So it's only gonna make him better and help this team grow. And he will be a staple in that defense for years to come, man. So shout out to Quinyon Mitchell over there at the cornerback position. But man, Jalen Hurts, we'll see. Jalen Hurts, let me tell you, you can tell Jalen Hurts is much more comfortable with A.J. Brown in the lineup. Let me tell you, man, A.J. Brown is definitely Jalen Hurts' number one target. Whatever however they feel, and the drama you may think and you may perceive from the outside, man, these guys play ball together, and they like to play ball together. And it's obvious, because Jalen Hurts was looking like he needed his number one target. It's big, for sure. Go getter. You know what I mean? But that's what the NFL is about. You have to find a way to win in NFL. You have to execute the play that is called. And Falcons did it the best tonight. And Saquon Barkley, unfortunately, man, he dropped the key pass in a key moment in the game. And that's what it's about. We played hours and hours of football, tired, busting our butt. We exhausted. And it's the last few minutes of the game, and it come down to this one play. Who will concentrate? Who will concentrate on the smallest, minute details. When the ball comes to me and I'm used to so many times catching the ball, am I going to look the ball all the way into my hands because the game is on the line, or I'm gonna have an unfortunate situation like unfortunately Saquon Barkley had, man. Another great player, man, that just so happened to just get a bad rap. You know what I mean? I know they all wish they could have a lot of those plays back, but Battle of the Birds, man. The Falcons did their thing. Got to give it up to Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins went out there, was successful. He executed that offense and found a way to win, baby. So the Battle of the Birds and Eagles, unfortunately, didn't come up with the victory. But week 2, man, Texans and Bears. Let's get into this Texans and Bears, man. They just finished that Sunday night game, Texans and Bears. And my winners and losers from that game. Caleb Williams, man. Got to put him in the he will be a winner in the future category, right? But this young man, he has a chance to be good. It may not seem like it, right? It may take some time, but he has a chance to be good. And he did some good things last night, despite what you're hearing from the media and things like that and how the game's ended. But I do see where his flaws reside, and that's the same issues as any short quarterback. Any short quarterback trying to find clean throwing lanes because linemen are very, very tall. And that's what Caleb Williams is dealing with. When the pressure's on, he used to trying to escape like he's at USC because the pocket's not clean. And that style of play worked in college with those athletes. You have the C caliber, the B caliber, and the A caliber athletes. I'm not too sure if it's going to work on this level in the NFL. You know, he doesn't seem like he has the quickness and the speed to be able to escape. Because when he does, he tries that magicalness he used to try in college. It's not working. It's like those big hauls on the front seven. They hawk him down in like a couple steps, right? And of course, if you want to develop Caleb Williams the right way, you got to upgrade the offensive line. The offensive line was horrible for the Bears, you know. Yeah, that was a horrible display of big guys in the front seven right there for Caleb Williams. One thing it's crazy to me how teams draft these number 1 quarterbacks, number 1 overall, but you don't have the people in place to protect them. Like, how much sense does that make, right? You draft these quarterbacks, number 1 overall, but no one's there to protect them. You depending on old veterans that already proven that they can't play in the NFL or not even top caliber draft picks to protect the number 1 draft pick, number 1 overall draft pick. And, make that make sense to me. You understand what I'm saying? But, yeah, another thing about Caleb Williams, he got to understand, mistake. He throws an interception, then he comes right back and throw another interception back to back. And that can be on the coach or the player sometimes. You know what I mean? Coach can feel like, hey, man, you are starting quarterback. You are future. You're ready. I'm going to give you the play, and I'm going to see how you're going to respond and see how you answer. And it's just a challenge and see where that quarterback is at that time. But obviously, he threw back-to-back interceptions that hurt, that cost the team a lot. But, that sometimes it's the luck of the draw. The coach is going to put it out there and see what you can do. But Caleb Williams has a bright future. I know it might not seem like it right now, but they have to build a team around him. And he'll continue to get better. And he's a creator. He's a creator, and he showed what he could do. He showed what he can do. And that way, another thing I also realized about Caleb is he's also starting to realize that the speed is much faster, man. He's much faster than college. These boys is big and fast, and he can't get away. And I know that caught him by surprise. But that last hit, man, I think it was the last hit. I can't remember. It was number 9. Number 9 for the Texans. Last hit came through, and boom, tore Caleb Williams up. Put him on his back. He's laying backwards on the back, and he looked undefeated, man. He looked like he wanted to give it up. He looked like it was over with. Like he didn't want to get up, man. But shout out to Caleb Williams in the future, right? But the Texans, man, the Texans, they got CJ Stroud. What more do you need, you know? He picked up right where he left off from last season. And that's making no mistakes. He barely makes mistakes, and that's what you want your quarterback. That's how you want your quarterback to be on your to run your offense. Minimum mistake quarterback. Now, the formula to beat CJ is if you can confuse him, then maybe you can get him to make some mistakes. But he's hard to confuse. I don't know why, because he totally understands the position and the concept at quarterback. You know, take what they give me, keep the ball moving, and make minimal mistakes because it's about controlling the ball and keeping the defense off the field. And I think he totally understands that. And that's how he leads the offense. And it's a great formula for success with a great quarterback. And I like the Houston Texans team. And shout out to Darius Stingley Jr. Darius Stingley Jr., my number one cornerback on my top 10 list. He comes up with a key interception in a key moment that, you know, gave the Texans a 3-point lead. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it led to 3 points rather than gave him the lead. You know, Darius Stingley is one of those players that don't get enough attention, and he needs to get more attention because he's not in a big market. So, you know, I gotta give him a shout out every time he make a big play, man. And that was a big play. It was a bomb. He went up and got that thing. All right. Now that Houston market, it's just not that big, right? Just not that big. So you don't get enough notoriety like you might get in New York and San Francisco and so on and so forth, right? So, you know, shout out to Darius Stingley Jr. in the Houston, Texas, man. Y'all got a player over there, man. Y'all got a player. Y'all that offense, the receivers, that receiving core is crazy. So they probably the ones that getting Darius Stingley Jr. right over there in practice every day. You're going against Tank Dell, Nico Collins. They trade what's his name? Michi. Can't think of the other name, but they got some receivers over there that's rolling. That's rolling. But the Chiefs and the Bengals, man, winners and losers. Winners and losers. How does this Chiefs and Bengals game go? Man, a lot of field goals. A lot of field goals. That can either come from good defense or a lack of execution on offense. And that's, in my opinion, looked like a lack of execution on offense in the red zone. And Joe Burrows, man, I know he feels broken now, starting off 0-2, but unfortunately, that's just the luck of the draw sometimes. And he needs to take most of the blame for that 0-2, right? He had the game right in his hands and goes and turns the ball over right after a great interception. You know what I mean? So you want to be frustrated and mad about being 0-2. Where's the accountability? Because the game was in your hand. Cam Taylor-Britt from the Bengals makes a crazy one-hand interception. I mean, one that we haven't seen in years, you know. And then Joe Burrows goes out there and fumbles the ball for a touchdown. Not just fumble the ball and change possession. He fumbles the ball for a touchdown. Now, for me, let me explain something to y'all. When you make an interception, we need the offense to score. Why we need the offense to score? So our highlights can be posted on SportsCenter. If the offense doesn't score on the next possession, our interception is basically in vain. It's meaningless. And it won't fit into no narratives on SportsCenter or NFL Network, so they won't have no reason to show it. So usually, if you want to get an interception, then the next series you want your team to go score, then boom, you look like the hero. But Cam Taylor-Britt, thank God it was a beautiful interception because that's the only reason they're showing it. Other than that, they would have no reason to show that interception because Joe Burrow went out and fumbled the ball on the very next series. You know, that's one of the worst feelings to have is, you know, a cornerback or a defensive player make a great play and then the offense goes out there the next series and just stinks it up, right? All that hard work for nothing, right? Yeah, that's what happened. All that hard work goes down the drain because nobody won't even see it on SportsCenter. Then a 51-yard penalty destroys a potential touchdown for Kansas City, man. That game was all over the place. And that crazy stat that's going around, what did it say? 53 touchdowns, 53 interceptions called back on Patrick Mahomes in 6 years. How real is that stat? 53 interceptions overturned by a penalty in 6 years. Either that young man got a lot of favor, or boy, is this some is this some craziness going on? Chat, what's happening? Melrose in the building. What they do? The outside of sports, what they do? Yeah, man, we getting through this week 2, man, and now we about to get to these Cowboys. Let's get to these Cowboys. Cowboys versus Saints. One thing I didn't know, I didn't realize the Saints is the real deal, man. Y'all talk to me in the chat. Come and show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Click on a comment to show on the screen. Let me get here. Put it there. Oh, let me get y'all on the screen. Let me put Melrose in the building because he's there in the building. What's happening? What's happening, Melrose? Y'all see me? Yeah, I'm getting better with these technology, man. Y'all bear with me. We're going to get better and better. You know what I mean? I'm streaming live on Facebook, too. Let me put Isaiah up there. Get Isaiah up there one time. Let me get the last one. You know, shout out to the fam. You know what I mean? So the Cowboys, man. I thought since the Cowboys looked so shitty, I thought the Eagles would run the division with ease, but who knows now, man? This is one of the craziest divisions I ever been a part of. I only played in the AFC East and the NFC East, so I haven't been in all of them. But this one is wild, right? Because we ran our division over there, the Patriots. With the Cowboys, you got the Cowboys, you got the Eagles, you got the Giants, and then you got the Redskins. So any of these teams can potentially be good at any given time. But the problem with the Cowboys is, and nothing changed. Everyone is still breathing the same air from, 6-7 years ago when Tony Romo days, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing changed. There is not a winning attitude, a winning atmosphere. They don't know and understand how to win. And it all starts with Jerry Jones. And he came out blatantly, continues to say he is the best man for the job at GM for the Cowboys. And this is clearly shows that he is not the best man for the job, but you giving out all this money and paying all these folks that already showed you who they are, and it's insanity because they're not going to win. And then how can you help Dak, the guy that you just paid $60 million a year, when the running game is useless? The running game is worthless. Ezekiel Elliott brings nothing to the running game. He brings nothing to the table in the running game. And then it's like you're recycling old players to think you're going to get a new result. Running backs are the one position, the older you get, you do not get better. So I don't know what he thought by bringing in Ezekiel Elliott as if that would boost the running game. I heard Michael Irvin on, crying from last season on the network and stuff like that, because maybe that was, he's a fan favorite, or Michael Irvin loves that guy. But no, Ezekiel Elliott is washed up. He's too big. In his 7th, 8th year, took too many hits. You need a fast, agile guy that's steady running. Derrick Henry and Ezekiel Elliott, they're not hitting the holes no more. And that's what you need at running back. Those guys not hitting the holes. And that's how you create a running game. You got to hit that hole and create a hole. And did y'all realize Dak Prescott, by the time he finished, would be damn near collected? Let me say that again. Let me get some water. Did y'all realize that Dak Prescott, when he is done with the Cowboys, he would damn near collected $500 million from Jerry Jones and not win a Super Bowl? Can y'all believe that? Can y'all believe that? $500 million and no Super Bowl. How do you justify that? This is Patrick Mahomes gets $500 million, but he won a Super Bowl. Make it make sense. Patrick Mahomes deserved it, while Dak Prescott just demanded it. The Dallas Cowboys, it's so funny. The Dallas Cowboys, they remind me of the Colorado Buffaloes. Very good athletes, a good quarterback. Well, at least on paper. No running game, soft at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and they lack discipline. These two teams are the same team, and maybe some familiarity there with Coach Prime being coming from the Cowboys and now coaching this, Colorado Buffaloes. And man, that's just one team. The Dolphins and the Cowboys, two teams I wish they could get their junk together and get to the postseason and potentially win the Super Bowl. That's what the NFL need. They need those two teams to pick stuff up. And like I said, the Saints, man, I was asleep on the Saints. And I don't say what needs to be said. I got to apologize because I had Derek Carr in my quarterbacks that need to retire list last season. I thought he was washed up, but Derek Carr, he's moving. I must apologize. So you accept my apology, Derek Carr. Please accept my apology. But this week will tell us how good the Saints really are when they get to play Philly. You know what I mean? After going 2-0 and beating the Cowboys, we're gonna see what these Saints really about. But the game of the week to me, let's get to this game of the week, which was Tampa Bay versus the Lions, man. And another team that's the real deal, Tampa Bay. And the defense can carry this team a long way the way they playing. Offense win games and defense win championships. And with Baker Mayfield, the rebuilt, the new Baker Mayfield, man, he continues to make plays with his legs and arms, just how the team needs him to. And this team is building their confidence. And what Baker Mayfield brings to the table is his energy. His energy shows his team that his desire to win and do anything it takes to win. That energy feeds into the entire team. The only thing that's holding them back, like I speak about with the Cowboys and things and other teams, is I don't know. A lot of teams lack a running game because I don't know. We moved into a more of a passing offense. Everybody want to pass the ball and think that's the way to win. Another team that's missing the running game, the Buccaneers, they can truly use a running game, and that team will be that much better if they can get that much of a running game. But I'm excited to see what the Bucs can do in the future, man. You don't want your favorite team playing them to make it to the playoffs or in the playoffs because they can get upset. Because Baker Mayfield, man, he's a hot, cold quarterback. And when he's hot, you do not want to face him. And he gets hot and he has a good defense behind him, he's going to be playing pretty good. And Jared Goff from the Lions, man, that's a good team, man, over there with a lot of talent. And there's no reason they shouldn't be scoring 24 points a game, 24 or more points a game. And Jared Goff, he's an effective quarterback, but he can't deliver. He's not a quarterback who's going to deliver in key moments and critical situations. And what I see from him in tight coverage, when his tight coverage and third down, he can't complete the passes. He can't make those tight throws when the cornerback is right here on the receiver and fit in those tight areas. He can't do that. He needs to be zone coverage. He'll throw a lot of check downs. He can decipher the high lows, but tight coverage, it's like he's scared to put it in there tight because he's afraid to make a mistake and throw an interception. And he's the person or the player that will hold the Lions back from ever being great, because in those key moments and critical situations, Jared Goff will never deliver. He will never deliver, as he showed us when he was with the Rams, as he showed us before the past season with the Lions. He's just a game quarterback, an in the season quarterback. He's not a champion quarterback like the Patrick Mahomes, the Tom Brady's, and the ones that make the plays necessary when it's time to win the game. And that's why the Lions struggled on third down, because of Jared Goff and man-to-man coverage that he can't handle. He will not throw the ball in tight coverage. He will overthrow it 2 to 3 yards before he take a chance and put it too close and give the defender a chance to intercept the ball. But this team is just too talented to not be scoring 24 points. And another person, it's another issue that I wish that could be fixed. And You know, people just achieving, you know, the best that they can do. That's all I like in life. That's what life is about. You know, get the best out of you. Be the best that you possibly be. Your team be the best they can be as collectively. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all keep it rolling, man. Y'all keep it rolling, man. So that's week 2, man. That's week 2. I got to cover one more game too, man. Let's get into these 49ers. Any 49er fans in the building? Any 49er fans disappointed by the loss to the Vikings? Because I damn sure am. I lost my goddamn money betting on the goddamn Niners, giving up points to the Vikings, but I shouldn't have bet against Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold is a revived quarterback, and sometimes you got to end up in the right situation, and that's what it seems like with Sam Darnold, man. So salute to Sam Darnold on another team with playing really good defense. I don't know what's going on these days. We got teams that's playing very good defense. Everybody can't be top of the stats. So I'm just watching the game and watching how good they're playing in the game. And Vikings playing really good. And Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy, just like I talked about with Caleb Williams, another short quarterback that will always, that will always be challenging because he's not the prototype quarterback. He's probably at best 5'11", 5'10", my height, and that's a real issue. Those throwing lanes for, when you're behind those 6'7", 350-pound linemen, it's very hard to find your receivers if you're a short quarterback. And that's the issue. That's the issue. He's not as mobile as a Lamar Jackson or other short quarterbacks, Kyler Murray and things like that. So he needs lanes and great decisive spaces that he can just make his plays and create lanes. That's up to the offensive line. I used to always hear Bill Belichick, in practice, create a lane, give Brady a lane. I never understood till like 3-4 years into the NFL what that meant. So, when you're not that tall, you need those lanes, you understand? And right? And like I'm saying, right? In another situation, right, being short comes from the challenges you put this in the chat. And another situation you deal with, or another issues you deal with being short, such as Brock Purdy, like on 4th down, man. If y'all don't remember, 4th down, it should have been an easy bang completion to get closer to the lead. And the ball is tipped. A lot of tipped balls by Brock Purdy because he is not the prototype 6'5", 6'4" quarterback, and the linemen will be able to get their hands on balls. So that's why they need those clean lanes. A lot of Brock Purdy turnovers came from tipped balls and not being able to have a clean pocket, the height, and all those good things. But yeah, that will always be an issue. But I was disappointed, man. I was disappointed. The Vikings, they did their thing. They made the plays. They made big plays to win. And that's what it takes in the NFL. Whatever it takes to win, that's what you need to do. They give up the ball. In the red zone on the 2-yard line, Vikings not scared. They turn around and go for a shot. 97-yard touchdown. Jeez. And that cornerback over there for the 49ers, homeboy number 20, I don't even know his name, man. But we ain't gonna be too negative today, man. So man, that's week 2 in the books, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Yeah, they got to figure out how to get Brock rolling out, man. Rolling out, be more mobile so he can have more clean pockets, man. Anything else y'all got, man? How y'all felt about the game tonight, man, with the Eagles versus God doggone birds, the Falcons? Both of them my team, man, so I'm not disappointed. But y'all know I'm an Eagle. Y'all know I'm an Eagle, but I'm a bird too. And I'm also a Patriot. Let's say what needs to be said. And Mr. Pick 6, your boy Asante Samuel. We out, man. Salute.